This is a quick follow-up to the video I put out on evacuating the Gaza Strip into the Negev desert to minimize loss of life, which I put out on October 14th, 2023. Today is October 21st, 2023. In the intervening time, the president of Egypt has proposed that Israel host the Palestinian refugees in the Negev desert. Surprise, surprise. So right here, he refers to the President al-Sisi of Egypt. He instead proposed that the Palestinians be moved to the Negev, a desert in southern Israel, until the militants are dealt with, stating the obvious. I have my doubts anything like this is going to happen, even though it's a sensible solution to the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. It would allow the Palestinians to be evacuated to a safe area, provided with food, water, all sorts of other good stuff, and in a way which the aid would definitely get to the people who actually need it, and in which there would be no invasion of Gaza and concomitant collateral damage, all sorts of civilians, women and children, and so on being killed. This is, of course, a completely obvious solution to the current crisis. It's not surprising it occurred to the president of Egypt. In fact, you would think the IDF, the Israeli military, probably has contingency plans to do this. It's what any good military person would have thought of years ago to deal with situations like this. We could go on. I think the lesson that's most important, perhaps, to take away from this is how little discussion of this there has been in the media, in the United States at least, Twitter, etc. We are offered two choices, neither of which is very appealing. One is to have a ceasefire, which would simply perpetuate and reward these fanatics who killed hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Just keep the crisis going, actually. Or the other option, of course, is to send the IDF in a ill-defined mission that would has already killed thousands of people, women, children, probably many more. I mean, it could go up into the hundreds of thousands if Gaza is invaded by the IDF. So why is it that we hear these two unappealing options? Why don't we hear options like this, for example? Why don't we hear longer-term discussions of developing the Negev desert to alleviate the land shortage in Israel? Israelis have been talking about developing the Negev desert back into the paradise that it once was 2,000 years ago when the Roman Empire existed, and it actually produced a lot of food. But that requires water. And the obvious source of the water would be to take the salt water from the Mediterranean, pipe it, or aqueducts or whatever, to a solar-powered desalination system in the Negev desert, which has all sorts of sun, right? And then you have fresh water, and then you can do what the United States demonstrably has done in the southwestern United States, transforming the Southern California desert into one of the most heavily populated areas in the country, that is Los Angeles and the Southern California area. What we've done in Phoenix, where there's something like 4 million people living in great prosperity, we might add, in both areas, largely because we diverted water from Colorado River and other sources. Now, Israel doesn't have access to that kind of water, but it certainly has access to the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. It has an entire desert that's half the country, which presumably would be a source of solar power. So one might wonder about these things. But again, to conclude, yes, other people have proposed evacuating the Gazans into a safe area in the Negev desert where they can be provided with food, water, medical supplies, everything they need, and protected from the violence that's threatening and is already occurring. This concludes this video presentation. If you like this video, please click like. Please click subscribe and the notification bell if you would like to receive more content from us. You can avoid internet censorship by subscribing directly to our RSS news feed. Please consider sharing the link by email and on your website or blog, in addition to liking, upvoting, or sharing on increasingly censored, advertising beholden, big company social media. We have encountered such censorship. Mathematical software is developing algorithms and software to automate data analysis, reducing the risks of costly errors and increasing the predictive power of the results. You can support our work financially by subscribing on our Patreon page. https://www.patreon.com/mathsoft, or scanning the QR code in the lower right corner.